Hello, it is Sunday evening and I'm very tired, but I want to introduce this video so that we've got it up and rolling. Basically, I'm planning on documenting what I eat for the next week. A couple of things to think about is, first of all, I never used to have much of an appetite and I never felt particularly hungry and I was never a foodie. I still don't really consider myself to be one, but since I started my running training for my 10K, which is happening in less than a month now, I have really noticed my appetite changing and growing more, and just generally feeling more hungry, more peckish, and wanting to eat more, and also enjoying eating more, which is strange, for me anyway. I'm sure it's not for a lot of people. I also live on my own, and so I feed myself, and I also pay for my food myself, which means that sometimes I choose to have a cheaper, potentially less healthy or fulfilling meal or dish or food option. And I also do still go to my grandma's, usually twice a week, usually for Shabbat, and then also one other day in the week if I can. So whilst I won't be able to necessarily film what I'm having, of course I will talk about it. But I know that I'm very lucky to have that, and my grandma feeds like a grandma does. So I'm expecting big meals on those days, or bigger meals. So we'll start tomorrow morning, and to be honest, I might be in a rush tomorrow morning, so I'm just going to tell you what I'm going to have for breakfast already. I found this new cereal about a week ago or two, and I really enjoy it. It's not super healthy. It's less healthy than the other cereal I used to have, but I enjoy it and it makes me happy to be eating breakfast, and it feels more filling to me. So I'll be having this, and I always add just a small amount of chia seeds with it. I only have a small portion of this. I don't have a huge bowl, and some milk, obviously. At the moment, I've got whole fat milk, but honestly, I just find whichever has the longest date in the shop between whole and semi-skimmed. I'm not fussed. I've actually found I think I prefer the whole milk in my teas. I like thick stuff, but it's much of a muchness. So that will be my breakfast. I think I'm gonna have bread, wholemeal bread, Hovis wholemeal medium sliced bread with either butter and Marmite or butter and jam for lunch, and potentially a snack, but we shall see. So I will document that tomorrow after I get back from work, I think, unless I somehow have time in the morning. But yeah, I'll see you tomorrow and every day after. Yay! Hello, so for lunch I did have just a sandwich with butter and jam, which was very nice, and I also had a hot chocolate at some point just to fill me up and give me some energy. I felt like I needed some sugar and heat. I was cold. And then I just had a cup of tea when I got home, and then I've just had supper, which was some leftovers of rice and this corn dish, as well as a whole bag. I've just finished a whole bag of tender stem broccoli. I forgot that I'd taken out leftovers for supper, and so I went to the shops thinking I need to buy something to eat, and they were on a discount, as in they were on the reduced aisle. So I took them and then forgot that I already had food and I'm eating out tomorrow. So had to use the whole bag, and I ended up eating the whole bag. It is nice to eat vegetables. I feel like I've not had a fresh vegetable in a while. And I literally just roasted them with some olive oil and salt, and it absolutely did the job. The only thing I wish is that it would have been a bit crispier. Either I put too much oil or I had the heat too low, or both. But aside from that, the taste was lovely, and I obviously enjoyed it. Knowing myself, I probably will have definitely another cup of tea and then probably some sort of snack before the end of the night. So I shall see you then. Bye! Hello, I've just come in from work and I'm quite peckish, but I am going to my grandma's for supper in an hour and a half, and I know that she will feed me, and I know that I'll be full anyway, so I don't want to eat too much beforehand, but I am just gonna have an apple and maybe make some tea. I'll see how I feel after the apple. Oh, I think I'm gonna make a tea anyway, let's be real. So that is my now food, and then I'll try and sort of remember what I had for supper and let you know after. Hello, I'm just back from my grandma's. It was lovely, but I'm very full. I had a chestnut and mushroom dish with Israeli couscous, broccoli, cauliflower and beans, green beans, which was very nice. I especially loved the broccoli. I'm in my broccoli era. And then for dessert, I had a tangerine, a pear and a handful of grapes, which was really lovely. Like that combination of fruit, and it was all like the right level of sweetness, if that makes sense. Fruit can be quite hit and miss, and none of these were. They were all great and crunchy. So feeling very satisfied. I think, knowing myself, I am likely to have some form of chocolate before I go to bed and potentially another cup of tea. But we shall see, and I will let you know. Because I'm also regular vlogging, I totally forgot to share my lunch with you, which I've just made as I've got home, and it's egg fried rice. It's just leftover rice with a scrambled egg and some onion, and I've also got, well, you can't see it, but an apple and black currant juice cordial thing with sparkling water. And I'm very happy about this. Very. Hello, that was the worst meal I've made, I think maybe ever. And to be fair, it wasn't entirely my fault. My cousin dropped by unexpectedly, and as a result, I sort of lost track of the potatoes, but I was not happy. I'm glad to have it finished, but because it left me so disappointed, I've cut myself an apple, and I'm just gonna enjoy snacking on that. It's still quite crunchy, so that's good. But yeah, I feel gross, I feel unhappy, not the one for me, not good. I do actually feel full though, but I just need something else in my mouth. So I'm gonna enjoy that, and I think that will probably be it for today. Yay. I have obviously put something in my body that my body isn't happy about. I'm not sick or anything, but my stomach is just uncomfortable, and I don't know, I'm thinking it's probably either the rice or like the tea I had, I don't know. And I'm thinking it's most probably the rice, because I took it out of the freezer, I can't remember what day, and I've been eating it a few times. But I feel like this only started, I think it only started this morning. And then I was fine for a few hours, and then it flared up again tonight. I can't think what else I've eaten. I mean, I literally have documentation of everything, but I can't think of anything else that would give me this reaction. So I'm just presuming it's rice, because I know rice is meant to be like a problem. But anyway, I am going to work now. So I'm gonna have a proper supper when I get home. And by that, I mean probably just some bread with something. But I'm gonna be working between like 6 and 9, I think, 9:30. So I think if I don't eat a snack now, I'm gonna be peckish. So I've just got a couple of these digestives, and I'm gonna have probably like 2 just to give me something for the next few hours. And then I've got plans for tonight, but you'll find out about that later. It's interesting, I don't really know the point of this video. I don't know why I'm sharing all this with you. I don't know if anyone cares. The main thing I think that everyone's gonna learn is just that I eat a lot of repeat meals. I just use up what I've got. Oh, maybe it was the potatoes from yesterday and the burger. I mean, both of those were somewhat of a disaster. I kind of hope it was that, because I'm planning on using the rice tonight for my exciting thing. Those potatoes, I shouldn't have eaten them. They were so awful and disappointing and didn't make me feel good. Maybe it was that. Anyway, I'm going to enjoy these digestives, and I will see you or show you later. Hello. For supper, I had 1 piece of bread with butter and Marmite, and a sausage roll, a Quorn sausage roll, because I got them discounted at the shop. And I've just spent about 45 minutes cooking, but I've made myself a dessert, which is rice pudding, to use up the rest of my rice. I'm not going to finish all of this, but I'll just eat some of it and put it in the fridge for tomorrow. Oh, I maybe can't have it tomorrow because it's Shabbat. I'll have it maybe on Saturday then. Anyway, that's my meal today. Yay. Hello, Shabbat's just gone out literally 2 minutes ago, and I'm going to tell you about the food I've had in the last 24 hours. The last 24 hours have been very food heavy, but it's Shabbat, so that tends to happen. Then I'm going to quickly have my supper for tonight, and then I'm off to babysitting. So I don't know if you saw my lunch yesterday. I think that was 2 pieces of bread with butter and Marmite and cucumber, I'm pretty sure. Then for Friday night, we had, first of all, we always begin the meal with challah. Although my grandma made some challah and has also given me some for my house, which is lovely. And so it's a little bit healthier. And also she used some brown flour. So again, it's just a little bit healthier. So I had a couple of slices of challah and courgette soup with tippets. Then for main, there were fried potatoes, which were nice. Beans, sprouts, salad, an Israeli salad, and a vegetarian dish, which was butternut squash with, I think, quinoa, spinach, and either raisins or cranberries or something. And it is a very nice dish, but she literally gave me double of what I wanted. So I was already quite full, and then for dessert we had some vanilla ice cream with a berry compote, which was made from fresh fruits. So that was very nice, but all very, very filling, as always. Then this morning for breakfast, I had some of that healthier challah. I mean, I say healthier, it's still not very healthy. And I had, I think, 2.5 slices with 2 with butter and hagelslag, which is a Dutch like chocolate sprinkle. And then the half, I think, was with Nutella, which was quite nice because I haven't had Nutella in a while. And then for lunch, I went out and I had, oh, now I'm racking my brain. I definitely had a cup of tea before the lunch started. And I had a piece of brownie for kiddush, which is made before lunch, usually. And then there was, again, like a green salad with avocado, cucumber, tomato, that kind of thing. There was a coleslaw salad. There was a mushroom and chestnut dish, which was very nice. And I had that with some more challah as well. I think there was something else, but I can't remember. I think it was another salad or something called, definitely. And then for desserts, I had these mini chocolate ice creams, tiny little things. So I had 2 of them. Stewed fruit, which was lovely, with some custard. And now I'm just about to have a sort of scrambled egg with a piece of challah. And I think I'm going to have 1 digestive. And I also had some rice pudding, like half a mug full, I would say. So yeah, it's been quite a foodie 24 hours. I don't know what I'm going to be eating, if anything, tonight. I also don't know how long I'm babysitting for. They do usually feed me and I'm not worried. And, you know, even if nothing else, I know where the snacks are and they let me take snacks. But I am fooded up. Although I can't say I feel particularly good about it. This often happens to me around Shabbat, where I just find I'm eating far too much. Lunch today actually wasn't so bad, but definitely supper last night. And it always happens at my grandma's because often she'll serve me and she just serves me too much. But I have got better at saying no about some things. Like she was asking me if I wanted seconds for soup, and usually I would say yes because I would feel bad, but I've got better at saying no. So yeah, we've got basically 1 more day and I've finished all my cereal, so we'll see what I do for breakfast tomorrow. And yeah, 3 more meals, supposedly. And then the week is up. I will see you either later tonight or tomorrow. Bye! Hello, last night at babysitting I had quite a number of snacks. Very small portions though. I had a little bit of cheese, I had like 2 pieces of pasta, I had some bisli, which is like a wheat flavoured crispy snack, and I had some grapes, and I had some chocolate. But this morning I'm just having a piece of quite toasted challah, ta-da, with some Nutella. Just 1 slice because I'm going for a run hopefully soonish. Yay! Hello, it's almost 2 months later and I'm having my breakfast at 1 in the afternoon because that's the kind of person I am. My first meal of the day has to be breakfast. But it's 2 months later and I was just editing the video realising I never sort of finished it up. So I just want to say I've now sort of had a month off running because of an injury. And I've really noticed that my appetite has changed again and I'm less hungry and less sort of in the mood for food. So that's really interesting to me and I am intending to run more. So I'm curious to see when I sort of get back into it how that changes things again. Wayne's also here now, so obviously I think we're snacking more because we're watching stuff and then having, you know, like chocolates or popcorn or whatever by the TV. But I also think we're cooking more, like, I don't know what the right word is, fulfilling meals. I might do another sort of week of what I eat at some point, either when I sort of have more time or to show like what Wayne and I make together, anything along those lines. I mean, I have vlogged bits here and there, but yeah, I just wanted to round out the video by saying that I don't really know what the purpose of this video was. Maybe it was interesting, maybe it wasn't, but I think it's interesting for me to see what I was eating whilst I was training for the run, and also to see how my appetite does change and how I satisfy that appetite. And I do think I should probably, like, if I am intending to run more, which I am, be more mindful of what I'm putting into my body and making sure that I'm fueling myself well enough to be able to carry out longer runs. But that's all. I hope you enjoyed this video. I guess if you have any recommendations for meals or anything, I'd love to hear them. Vegetarian though, because I'm vegetarian. But aside from that, I will see you all very shortly in another video. Bye!